tell me, what have you told the audience here? What's your main point?
The key point I made, or the key points I made, was that the mood of the public in Europe and in the US is changing dramatically. People are becoming more cynical and more skeptical about the issue, partly because of the economic crisis and partly because of the fact that it isn't warming. And they have switched off. They don't want to hear about these doomsday predictions. And despite all party consensus, there is a growing resentment among the population against the green agenda.
But so you suggest that not only the climate is cooling, but the audience is cooling as well?
Yes, the audience is cooling significantly, and recent polls and surveys suggest that for the first time there is now a significant majority of people who are starting to question the whole agenda and the whole hype and the whole alarmism.
People are not scared anymore.
No, they are not scared. Basically, the dread factor, the novelty factor, the scare factor has worn out. And
you talk about it as if some sort of television watching, zapping to another channel.
Possibly, and also people's main concerns have changed. If you have lots of money and everyone has work, they don't have any other concerns, they can think about the environment. But if the economy is going downhill, people are worried about their concerns and they're worried about the economies, then the priorities change, and that's what is currently happening.
Real temperatures have not been rising in the past 10 years. Is that an important fact?
Of course, because we've been told that 10 years ago we only have 10 years and then everything will be too late. And we've been told that it will become very, very hot and that the temperatures will increase. And now people realize something is happening that wasn't predicted. No one told them that. And so they are questioning the scientific establishment. How can you make these predictions that then don't come true? So there's a problem.
Are people fed up with greens?
I would say a growing number of people are fed up, mainly because they realize that green means more expensive and means more taxes, means higher energy prices. So they have been told that this will be cheap, this won't hurt you, in fact will create jobs, but the reality, people can see through that, and they do see that their holidays become more expensive, their heating becomes more expensive, their petrol becomes more expensive, and they are concerned.
Yes, but we're going to another world where all these things don't matter. A better, greener world is promised us.
Yes, indeed.
So what are you worrying about? People shouldn't worry about money, they should worry about animals, trees.
Yes, absolutely, but then you should give up the idea that you will win the next election. If you want to sell that kind of nonsense, people won't vote for you.
But politicians still have the mouth full of these stories.
Yeah.
So
well, they will also have to change, and I think they will read the surveys and the polls, and they will be concerned that there is a problem. And you see that in the US, where Obama won the election with a promise that he will now change the whole climate policy and, no more delays, and now we're going to change everything, and he can't even convince his own party.
He hasn't done a thing yet.
No, he
on
can't.
The climate.
Even if he wanted to, within his own party, the Blue Dog Democrats are scared that they will lose votes on the very issue of cap and trade and climate policies.
But what does that tell us for the future? Well, we don't know anything about the future. That's the main lesson we've learned from the whole climate
we'll
debate.
We'll be dead. In the future, we'll all be dead. We know that.
Let's take that for
yes.
sure. But I don't know how to say that in English very well. But the climate hype is a huge castle. Thousands and thousands of people make their money that way. Is that all going to collapse?
No, it won't collapse, but it will slow down. And governments will kick the issue into the long grass. They are saying, okay, we won't have a treaty in Copenhagen, but then in 2010 we will have a treaty. And of course they won't have a treaty in 2010. It will be a very prolonged process that in my opinion, will go on for many, many years
Old
to come.
soldiers never die, they just fade away.
It's fading into the background.
And on to the next scare then.
Well, someone asked me what will be the next scare, and I don't know, but it will be very difficult to top global warming, which is a wonderful scare.
But the global warming scare is over.
For the time being, definitely. And I said, unless there is very, very strong manifest warming again, and no one knows when this is going to happen, if it's going to happen, and when it's going to happen, this scare is basically dead and buried.